good evening, everybody. Once again, it is Saturday night, which means we are live here with the Cyber Racing Association's Homes Now, Not Later Super Speedway Series. Tonight, we are back at Daytona International Speedway with the open set Camping World Trucks, where once again we are set to go 90 laps, 3 stages here. And tonight is going to be a special race, seeing how there are 2 races remaining in the season. Tonight, we're going to go from the Super 7 down to the Championship 3. And to help bring up a little margin here, we can see by looking at this graphic here the points difference. So the 6 other drivers in contention, aside from Rick Sebrands, would be Bobby Tinch, Paul Servant, Justin Levine, Thomas Labar, Matthew Welzenbach, and Gregory Thompson. So watch for these guys. These are going to be the ones fighting to stay inside, as next week when we go to the final round, these drivers right here are the only ones that are going to be in contention to make it in. As we can see, roughly about just under 3 minutes left here in practice. It's always nice to see Daytona night here. I know last Monday we ran at night and I had a blast. Even after getting put in the wall, it was still fun. Sitting there trying to help DFA. We were running strong. We had a good race going, and then Daytona happened. So you learn, you live, you move on, and we're ready for this coming Monday when we're going to give it another shot and see if we can't push one of our guys up in there and get a win. Believe it or not, the stages actually make this a lot better. It used to be hit or miss with it, but just like the real NASCAR, it's no longer, okay, follow the leader, the field's so spread out, there's nothing to talk about. They've got a race to stay in, and then at the end of the 30 laps, you know that it's not just going to be, okay, well, this guy's got 14 seconds on second place. Second place has 10 seconds on third place. It does make the racing a lot more intense, a lot more exciting, and honestly, it levels it out for a lot of the people, especially with this being the open setups. Some drivers may not have the best set, but you gotta try, and I know the championship race will be decided by the top 3 as to what chassis and what track we're going to be running on. So tonight with the trucks should be a great way to seal it off before we head into the final race of the season. You see right there the 18 of Gary Champion, the 4 of Justin Levine, the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr., As the final seconds here in practice draw to a close, we will advance over into qualifying and see who can set their truck on pole tonight. Joining me, as always, in the booth, running the technical aspect of it, we have Mike Major, and for extra commentary so I don't sound like an idiot all the time, we have Cody Franklin. How you doing tonight, Cody?
Doing great, Art. It's been a great day. Looks like it's going to be a great night with Daytona. If this thing goes like it did last week, it'll be for an awesome show. We always got Mike to back us up when we do sound like idiots, so I feel pretty confident tonight.
Well, hopefully it goes better than our last few rounds of Call of Duty that we were playing earlier. But these guys, we know that they know how to put on one hell of a show. So I'm expecting nothing less than that, seeing how especially we're running the open truck setup. It seems to be a lot more favorable than the fixed K&N cars.
Well, we know I've already got my meltdown out of the way tonight. I do like the trucks a little bit over the K&N cars, just because the K&N cars, we know their draft package is almost like a handicap. It's unreal, where the trucks it's a little more dialed in to where I think it should be.
Going back to that meltdown, and it's been a while since I have heard a sentence that did not have a single word that was not an obscenity, but it does make you feel really good, and we both got a really good laugh out of it.
Yeah, I don't know if my mother would be proud of me on that one.
Mine's proud of me regardless of what I do. As long as I wake up in the morning, it's good enough. I get my participation award.
That's what it's all about these days. The old precipitation award.
As we're waiting for the drivers to get their first laps in here, we'll see IRTVO update here. Right now, a lot of these guys are still on their out lap, now just starting to make it over to their first qualifying lap. As we look at the 88 of Gregory Thompson now, he is in the Super 7. He is one of the drivers competing to make it into the Championship 3, as well as the 66 of Bobby Tinch, the 2 of Rick Seabrands, who right now is leading the points, the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach, the 4 of Justin Levine, and the 99 of Thomas Labar. So all those drivers right now are going to be fighting to maintain and advance into the Championship 3, as once again next week we head into the season ender, which will be a decision between all 3 of the drivers. They will choose which car we're running, which will either be the truck or the K&N, and which track, whether it's 07 Daytona, the current Daytona, Talladega, and whether it's day or night at Daytona, obviously, too, as well. So right now, as the times are starting to come in early on, we got the 3 of Paul Servant with a 49.472. The 88 of Gregory Thompson right now second with a 49.502. The 29 of Matthew Welzenbach third with a 49.564. The 54 of Chris Akers with a 49.569. And the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. rounding out the top 5 with a 49.574. Look a little bit further back. In 6th to 20th of Michael Coe with a 49.593. 7th, the 95 of Christopher Berry with a 49.612. Dana Osborne in that 8 truck with a 49.666. Which, if I believe correctly, he's running the AC/DC truck tonight, so 666 might be something to do with the paint scheme there. 9th will go to the 66 of Bobby Tinch with a 49.702, and Artie Peterson Jr. in the 1 will round out the top 10 with a 49.706. And as we see these drivers pretty much done here, wrapping up qualifying, we're going to go ahead and ask that everybody please rise and remove your hats as we bring out the U.S. Army Marching Band for tonight's national anthem. job, as always, by the marching band, which leads us into tonight's starting lineup. On pole will be the 3 of Paul Servant with his 49 472 starting outside of him. Another Championship 3 fighter, the 88 of Gregory Thompson with a 49 502. Row 2, we will see another one of the top 7 right now, the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach starting outside of him. In 4th, we'll have the 54 of Chris Akers. Rolling off in row 3, we have the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. and the 20 of Michael Coe. As we go a little bit further back, we see the 95 of Christopher Berry rolling off 7th, Dana Osborne in the 8 truck with that 49 666. And Mike, I think the rumor is confirmed from Ronnie James Dio.
Satan is on board.
Alrighty then. As we move further back, 9th goes to the 66 of Bobby Tinch, who is yet another one of the Championship 3 contenders here. Artie Peterson Jr. and the 1 will round out the top 10. Roddy Klein in the 96 will roll off 11th. Thomas LeBar, another one of the 7 drivers contending in the 99, will roll off 12th. Starting 13th tonight will be another contender, the 4 of Justin Levine. Daniel Holloway in the 26 will roll off 14th. Gary Champion in the 18 rolls off 15th. Chris Brown will start from 16th in the 16 truck. 17th goes to the 13 of David Warren. The 2 of Rick Seabrans, who is right now leading the points, will start in 18th. The 21 of Eric Knix will roll off 19th. Daniel Jackson in the 72 20th. Mark Vega in the 14 21st. And I do believe, I know we won't have Dwayne tonight, so the 80 of PJ O'Leary 23rd, Jason Rodebush in the 24 24th, and Zachary Hale in the 62 25th. As we see the pace car making its way down the backstretch, we're less than half a lap away from taking the green flag here at Daytona. What do you guys think we're going to see in the first stage? Is it what we always see, the orderly, the calm, the strategy, or do you think now that we know that there's only going to be 3 drivers that are going to make it into this last race, are we going to see a little bit more aggression?
Or I think that you'll still see it nice and calm for the first few laps here in the race, because there's only 7 guys competing for 3 spots. You'd want to kind of conserve your car in that one faster pair that you got and try to make it to the end while putting yourself in a good contention. Now, I do think it will be more aggressive earlier on, but not right out of the gate.
Well, we're about to find out here as Bref Bodun gets ready to pull that Mustang pace car down pit road, and the 3 of Paul Servant is going to lead us into the start zone, which is very early here at Daytona. We are underway here. Let's see what these guys can do as we are in Crank It Up.
Doesn't quite take them as long in the trucks as it did the K&Ns to get up to speed here.
No, it takes the K&Ns about 2 to 3 laps to get up to speed versus these vehicles here, which get up to speed very, very easily. We see already that they're not wasting any time there on the outside as we see the 54 glued to the back bumper there of the 88 of Gregory Thompson as they barrel down the backstretch. Now, Mike, what is the situation with Brett Bodine? What's his beer of choice tonight?
He's going with Michelob Ultra.
Ooh, conservative tonight.
I think
Very
he's run out of money.
Yeah, he might be. Did they take away the Yeti cooler, or has he still got that?
Nah, he wouldn't let go of it. He's got his hands wrapped around like death claws.
I don't blame him. Well, let's see if we can get Brett Bodine into a catatonic state again tonight. I know we did last week. He was, he's got to be like the world's best drinker, because I mean he should have been dead last week with his blood alcohol content level, but he's back alive and driving the pace car here at Daytona. So let's see if we can keep him alive for another week. And I'm really thinking there that 49666 definitely was inspired by the AC/DC paint scheme on that 8 machine there.
It couldn't have been coincidence.
No, that's way too coincidental. That was there for a reason. Malcolm Young gave him that time. So right now, Paul Servant still holding on to the lead here. Although it is under contest, because right now Paul has led 1 and the 88 of Gregory Thompson has led 2. So the outside line coming off of turn 4 to the tri-oval seems to be getting the run there, and we'll see what happens this time by at the line. It should be the 88 again, and he will get another lap led there on the outside as we see a few more trucks starting to stack up there. We've got a good solid pack up here, and then we've got our backpack lining up, and then a few trucks trailing off behind that might have already lost the draft. We got 2 working together, and then right there at the very back you can see one of them there. But the majority of the trucks here in this major pack, that's going to be your top 10 plus a couple trucks.
And it just looks like the bottom line is a little more conservative. You got the top 3 on the bottom. They're nose to tail, nice and tight, as you see. The white truck coming up in front of that outside groove, and the rest of the guys just a little more conservative in the outer lane.
That would be the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach making the move there from the low groove up to the high line. As we see the run to the 29, there we go. We see the 88 of Gregory Thompson and the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach. They're both going to clear the 3 and drop down to the inside line. So at the line this time by as long as we see it, and it'll be no contest, the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach. He is one of the Super 7, so now he is out front leading the show as we are 6 laps in. Now, the reason that we saw the 29 and the 88 both drop down at the same time, they are both from Radical Racing, so obviously if you jump out in front of your teammate, you're going to bring your teammate with you when you make the pass. So, logical strategy in play right there as we see that outside line trying to regroup up. They're still getting the run off the corner. Let's see if the 54 and the 20 can get something going here. So we see the 8 is directly behind them. Now he's got his teammate, the 3 of Paul Servant, to his inside right now. So, and we got a wreck on the front stretch. So we can see it right there, the 26 of Daniel Holloway. A couple trucks involved there, but we're going to go ahead. We've got our first caution of the night. We're going to take a look back and see what brought that out, even though we did catch it on live TV. But we're going to go back and take a look from the 26 of Daniel Holloway's point of view. So here we are in turn 3 and 4 as they come out of it. Keep your focus on that Save the Tatas truck. Also look for the 1 truck. Right there he comes up, makes contact with the 26, which sends them around. The 96 gets involved as well as the 21 of Eric Knags. The 96 of Roddy Klein, he gets a little piece. We're going to go on board with the 96 as well. So as we ride on board with the 96 here, we're going to see it all unfold. Right out there is the 26, and directly in front of him is the one of Artie Peterson Jr. The contact is going to happen right about here. And around you go. Wall contact, and that worked out pretty good for him.
He drove it right out.
Now that's how you hold on to a race car.
Sometimes you got to use that wall to help you out.
It doesn't really help the car much, but if it keeps you from spinning out and hitting another one, then yeah. And that actually worked out really good there for the 96 truck. So we are working our first caution here of the night early on in stage 1. Now, as always, these guys do have one quick repair. They do have to make one mandatory pit stop per segment. And of course, as always, they are 3 30-lap stages. So early on, I think we might see another one of these maybe in stage 2. Hopefully we don't see the big one tonight, but definitely kind of figured with the way that the shifting was going on that we were going to see some of this. And word is out of the 81 camp, when he came down pit road, he absolutely missed his stall, so that's going to be a little detrimental for one of the Southern Thunder drivers there. I guess the good part to come out of that, he is not in contention for the championship, so that's not going to hurt things. As we see the lead pack here as they make their way into 3 and 4. So we see some takers and fakers. Nope, we're going to see everybody coming down pit road. So let's take a look here from the pit camera as they make their way onto pit road. We see the one of Artie Peterson Jr. not taking his quick repair yet. He's going to go ahead and get that damage fixed the old school way as everybody comes down here. Let's see if they can hit their marks. Looks like a lot of splash and goes. I can see some tire changes going on here, but most of them fuel only here as we watch the remainder of these guys race off pit road. And the 29. And as we look after the race off of pit road, everything has equaled out. The 29 of Matthew Weselbach still our leader. The lights are out on the pace car as we get ready to restart this race. And as always, when it comes to restarts here, there's only one thing we do, and that is crank it up. As we see now the pace car making its way out of 3 and 4, Matthew Weselbach in the 29 is going to lead us into the restart zone. He's got the 88 of Gregory Thompson to his outside, the 3 of Paul Servant, second row inside line, and then the 99 of Thomas LaBar, and green flag is back out. We are back underway here at Daytona International Speedway. Let's get these trucks up to speed. Now normally I would leave the crank it up off a little bit longer, but we've got some 3-wide racing going on here, so we're gonna actually go back to the regular Fox cameras here. We've got the 81 up there. We were 3-wide for the lead there for a second, but we are still 3-wide here. You see the 81, he's hanging it out there on the high side, the 54. Let's see if these two trucks can do anything, or if they're just going to fizzle out and have to cycle back to the back. But look at the run they're getting down the backstretch. They're holding on pretty good against the 88.
Well, everybody's trying to figure out where they want to go on the outside. It opened up a big gap, and a couple of guys got way out there, and they may actually have a chance here if they can do something quick.
Well, as they come to the line, we see right here teammates right now, the 3 and the 81.
Oh,
and we got another wreck.
Caution.
That
Caution.
one is going to be involving several of our Super 7 contenders here. So that one right there is going to bring out our second caution of the race. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the replay on this one. I'm going to back it up just a hair here. We're going to see, let's ride along on the... We're going to go on board with the 88 of Gregory Thompson for this one. There's the 3-wide. You can see the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. there on the outside, as well as the 54 of Chris Akers. So it'll be directly to the right here of the 88 who we're riding on board with. There's the 54 right there. You see it looks like the 88 drifts up a little bit, just enough to hook the 54, and around goes the 88. Oh, wow. Now the 88 is one of the Super 7 contenders, as well as the 4 of Justin Levine, who is also involved in that. A lot of drivers. We're also going to go on board with the 20 of Michael Coe for this one, as we back it up a little bit here. Now we are riding on board with the 20 here. You can see the 3-wide madness up front. Now get ready to watch this. He sees it. Great job checking up. Gets down, way down there on the apron, slows it down. Does a little bit of lawn care there, but he makes it around every single truck. So great bit of driving there by the 20 of old Pondo Co there, as he is able to make his way around all of that. As we see him now coming down pit road. As we look at our lead pack right here, the 3 of Paul Servant, the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach, the 99 Thomas Labar, the 18 of Gary Champion, 54 of Chris Akers. I think that's going to change around a little bit here as the scoring loop updates. But while we are under caution, we're working our second caution here of the first stage. We're going to cut to our first quick commercial break and return with the action here at Daytona International Speedway. Let's see if the lights go out on the pace car this time, as we are riding on board with our current race leader, the 3 of Paul Servant. Oh, we hear a little bit of fuel saving in now. We had noticed this during the commercial break. He's clutching it, letting off, back on, back off, back on, back off. We all do it. Now, they only have to pit once per segment. And as we see the lights on the Mustang pace car not going off, so we will go around at least 2 more laps here. So you got to wonder what's going on. Roll around in the crank it up camera here. We're on the roll bar camera there of the 3 truck.
It's a nice Oreo scheme, Mark.
Well, that's the old Dale Earnhardt Oreo scheme, later to be carried on by Dale Earnhardt Jr. We get a good look there at the 24 of Jason Rodebush. So we give you guys a quick run through here of the top 10. Out front, it's the 3 of Paul Servant, the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach second, the 99 of Thomas Labar third, the 20 of Michael Coe fourth. Justin Levine in the 4 truck, despite being involved in that last caution. He is going to restart from the 5th position. The 24 of Jason Rodebush 6th, Christopher Berry in the 95 7th, Bobby Tinch in the 66 8th, Daniel Holloway in the 26 9th, and Zachary Hale in the 62 will round out the top 10. Now looking back at the Super 7 drivers right now, the furthest back would be the 88 of Gregory Thompson. He is right now in 23rd position, down 2 laps. So the lights are out on the pace car, which means one more time around. A word from the pits is out of the 88 camp, the fast repair has been used. The 2 team, they still have their lifeline remaining, so be interesting to see here as we get the field stacked back up to restart it and get them going again here. Hopefully they can finish the stage under green, and then the mandatory caution will come out, which will end stage 1, and we can start stage 2. Now, the rest of these drivers can make it quite a ways into stage 2 without having to pit, but strategy is going to start being more key the later we get into this race here. Now, I think the smart idea with the 2 of Rick Seabrand's having damage and not using his fast repair, he right now is leading the points as far as the championship 3, so we'll pull up the graphic again real quick before we get back to the green flag action here. You can see that Rick Seabrand's right now has a 2-point gap over the 66 truck, so smart move there by the 2, not using his fast repair just yet, so he can still be there in case something happens, but we're getting ready to restart this race, so we're going to get back into the crank it up camera, and hopefully they don't get too crazy on us.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. We are back underway, lap 18 here at Daytona International Speedway with the Cyber Racing Association's Homes Now, Not Later Super Speedway Series. Alright, as we get a couple laps of green flag in there, crank it up, we're going to go ahead and come back to the regular Fox cameras here as we got another wreck on the backstretch, the 99 of Thomas the Bar going around.
Get yourself something to drink. Get a deep breath.
We see they're still tangled together there. We got another truck who's detonated their motor back there, but looks like tonight we're able to spot all these ones. These drivers are definitely racing with their nuts out on the dashboard tonight here at Daytona. That, or it must be a full moon, because this is very reminiscent of last Monday with the Super Speedway Series. I mean, once the first caution came out, we started seeing more and more and more. But we're going to go on board with the 99 of Thomas Labar and try and see what happened there. The first what we're going to watch here is the restart, and we're going to watch it from the 99. Then we'll jump over we see right there, he's second truck on the inside line. Now watch for him to have contact with the 29 of Matthew Welsbach right there into the wall. We see the motor detonate on the 29 now. Unfortunately, we can't see. Oh, we see him tangled up there with the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. too, as he was trying to get it blowed up. We're also going to go to the 29 of Matthew Welsbach and see what he got. Now, I know we can't see it here on iRacing, but you see how his steering wheel is at a full lock there? His wheels are actually up over his hood from the contact made in this wreck, but for some reason you don't get to see it on the replay end here. But we're gonna watch from Welsbach's point of view here. We're actually gonna go on board with him. Now watch as he tries to turn the steering wheel. This will show you that even though we can't see the damage, there's the cross, there's the damage. He's trying to turn right now. He's got nothing, because right now his wheels are above his hood, which is why you see him just maintaining a straight line and going through the grass. He's trying to turn the truck, but it's kind of hard to do that when you are literally paving a new lane through the infield. Now, it'll be more easily shown when he gets to the apron there of the track, because see, it brings it right back down. It's very hard to drive a truck when you can't turn it. It usually helps to have all four wheels, but you can see that he's not going anywhere, so he's going to take his towing there, as right now he's back on pit road. Meanwhile, we are back with the leader here. So I guess, Cody, I think you jinxed everything tonight. You said we were going to see some conservative racing. I think we've seen some of the craziest freaking racing we've seen all season with these guys here tonight so far.
Yeah, it looks like I screwed the pooch on that one tonight. It's uncharacteristic of them to have this many cautions this early on, but they are putting on a good show for us.
Well, I do think that 7 drivers being reduced down to 3 is a big factor too, and that's why we're seeing some of these guys who are in the Super 7 that need to make it into the Championship 3. We're seeing a lot of these guys messed up.
So for all the people out there that have watched us for a while and know about Alan Schoen, Cody is the new Alan Schoen.
The Schoen curse is going to live on now. It's going to be the Franklin curse.
It's got to be, because these guys never race this hard in the opening segment. And all of a sudden, Cody says, yep, they're going to be calm. And here they are. They're killing each other.
Well, at least it's living on. And as the season is winding down with only one more race after this week, hell, I say let them take the gloves off and let them go at it. Let's see who's going to make it into the Championship 3. But once again, while we are under caution, we're going to take this advantage to cut to a quick commercial break yet again. Hopefully we'll return with the lights out on the pace car and the field doubled up, ready to go. right, as the pace car is making its way through turns 3 and 4, hopefully we see the lights go out on it, and we will get that 1 to green here. So we see the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach getting a wave by there. He's going to go ahead and race back around and catch up to the tail end of the field.
Art, you know, there is one good thing about these cautions.
Man, what is that?
And that's old Bodine up there ain't getting enough time to get as plastered as he did last week. So he might have a fighting chance and stay out of ICU this week.
No, you've got to ask backwards. Every time he's out on track in the pace car, he's drinking. So the more he's out there, the drunker and more closer to death he's going to be. So if these guys keep it up, they might be the death of Brett Bodine tonight. So as the lights are out on the pace car, we are 1 to green. Run through of the top 10, restarting from the lead once again will be the 3 of Paul Servant, Justin Levine on his outside, the 20 of Michael Coe third, Christopher Berry in the 95 fourth, Bobby Tinch in the 66 fifth, 24 Jason Roadbush sixth, the 54 of Chris Akers seventh, Daniel Holloway in that 26 machine eighth, Rick Seabrands in the 2-9th, and Daniel Jackson in the 72 will round out the top 10 as we are about a half a lap away from restarting this race. And word from race control is the drivers have been given an order to stick a muzzle in their mouths and calm the hell down. There's a lot of racing left to do here, and we don't need it to be between 4 trucks. Because if they keep this tempo up, we might not have that many trucks left running.
Looks like there's only 4 of them that are in the hunt for those positions for that final race coming up. It's going to be Servant, Levine, Tinch, and Seabrands. They're the only 4 in the top 10 that are in that lucky 7.
Well, pace car is off. Green flag is back out. We're back underway, which means we're going to go back to the Fox cam, and hopefully they can keep it green.
Caution.
And
Caution.
folks, once again, we
Let's
are
talk about the car
under
real quick.
caution here. And quick, interesting note, Brett Bodine might be leading the most laps here with that pace car tonight. We're going to back things up here and see what happened. We're going to go to the 95 of Christopher Berry and see what happened back there. So watch the second truck there on the outside line, that 95 machine of Christopher Berry. They come onto the backstretch here. Everything is all fine until we get into turn 3. We see the 66 of Bobby Tinch behind the 54. See a good push there, and it looks like the 95 just wanted to come down with the 4, and he was not clear. Got into the 3 truck and unfortunately brought a couple other vehicles. We see the 80 the 54, the 88, a lot of trucks low and slow there on the apron. Now let's go to on board with the 3 of Paul Servant to see what he saw from behind the wheel during that one. That was actually on board with the 66. That one had a little bit more better of a field of view there. So right now they are discussing whether or not that is going to end the stage. Seeing how this is, as we bring up a summary, we have had 4 cautions, and out of the first 30 laps, 13 of them have been under caution, and it is confirmed through race control that this will end stage 1. So give the first stage win to the 4 of Justin Levine. So what you're seeing is not a myth. That's not anything other than what we've been seeing. We have had 4 cautions here in the first stage for 13 out of the 28 laps. We did have 8 lead changes, but that's definitely something that we have not seen. So it's got to be a full moon in Daytona, and these guys have definitely got to be hungry to get into that championship 3.
The Franklin curse, Art.
It's got to be. As we've got everybody coming down pit road, we are going to head and switch cameras here as we see the 54 sitting on pit road as well as the 95. That will be Chris Akers and Christopher Berry. As the field comes down pit road, let's see who is going to win the race off of pit road. There we see the 4. He's going to obviously make the easy way up. He's going to inherit first place, or maintain first place, as we see all these trucks still here taking fuel and tires. See the 88 down and away, the 8's down and away, 26 and 18, 29. Actually, that's 99. 62, the 1. Still see the 66 in on pit road. We see the 95 of Christopher Berry. That's actually the 20. 95, it looks like he has already left pit road. So the remainders are going to sit here and get their damage repaired without using the quick fix. And a lot of these guys actually, Mike just brought up a good point, might not have their quick fix, as we've seen with 4 cautions here inside of less than 30 laps. There's a lot of tore up trucks, and I think we're going to have a lot of pissed off drivers by the end of the night. As we continue ongoing coverage here of the Cyber Racing Association's Homes Now, Not Later Super Speedway Series. Once again, to recap, we are working our 4th caution of the race, and we will be taking the start of stage 2 once the lights on that Mustang pace car go out, which they have done. So we will double the field back up, and hopefully what we saw in the first stage we will not see a repeat of in the second, or as we transition over into the final stage, and we can get some good green flag laps in with some green flag pit stops.
You know, Art, I wonder if the curse works in reverse. If I'd say from here on out, it's going to be balls out. If we can actually get a little green flag in and see if they can string something together here.
Well, the problem with that is everyone's already dead.
I'm just going to have to already say you done messed up, Aaron. But no, I think the key point to hit on is this is definitely not something that we've ever seen from this league. Usually these guys, even though they do run balls out week in and week out, they do it clean. For some reason tonight, like I said, it's got to be a full moon here in Daytona. Cody, lean your fat ass out the window and look. See if it's a full moon or something, because this is not typical of these guys.
Well, Art, we had the full moon, the blood moon,
the blue moon, the super moon,
all last week. So this is just all built up, bottled up, and it's finally popped, and this is what we got. We do have Seabrands, Levine, Servant, and Walzenbach in the top 10, and they're all looking for spots with Greg Thompson at 88 and 11th.
Well, the 2 of Rick Seabrands is going to lead us into the restart zone.
Green flag.
Yeah, pace car is down. Green flag is out. We are back underway. Stage 2 underway. Rick Seabrands, our leader, and he is also the current leader right now for the Championship 3. So this time to spare in case something does happen again, instead of cutting away to our normal crank it up cameras here, we're going to stay in regular Fox. As we see for the majority, everybody's going to stay single file, which actually might be a smart thing, other than when we see the 81 there of Mark Jorgensen Jr. He's going to try and make the move on the outside of the 4. I believe that's also the 8 of Dana Osborne back there. That's the 81's teammate. He's looking up on the high side, but that might be because he does have some damage on that truck. Or, hell, you don't know, because he's got his other teammate now, the 3 of, actually, no, it's the 24 of Jason Roberts behind him. So now, up front, it's going to be 2x2 as we see the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach, and I believe that should be his teammate, the 88 of Gregory Thompson behind him. They're going to try and make their way up and around and get up towards the front. So while these guys are running around real quick, we're going to take another look at the points to see how these things are affected. Right now, the 2 of Rick Seabrands is holding down the most points. Bobby Tinch first up. Then we see Paul Servant, then Justin Levine, Thomas Abar, Matthew Welzenbach, and then Gregory Thompson. Right now with the running order, this is helping the 2 truck. Now the 4 truck, he's getting, this is going to benefit him too as well, but you can see that Welzenbach is only 2 spots behind the 4, so this could get interesting tonight. If they could put their take their hands out of their pants and put on the steering wheels for the remainder of the race, and as we see it's gotten a lot more spread out now. This is definitely a change of pace. Maybe they got tired of running pace laps around here. Because I know I've done enough official, or not official, but hosted racing where it's just been Daytona, 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 seeing how the official series does go here next week. People have been throwing up rooms right and left, and every single one I've been in has been a caution fest. Maybe this is probably going to be for the better, as it looks like the entire front pack now has singled out, and they're going to try and stay that way, as we see a little bit of movement there in the second mid pack.
All right, I've been looking through the field, and then there's a lot of damaged cars out there, so that's probably the main reason why right now you're just seeing this 6-car breakout. That's
probably the most logical explanation for it, as these guys here. Go ahead, Cody.
Another thing to point out is Bobby Tinchett was sitting in second in points. He's down to about 18, fighting for 17th position here. And Justin Levine was 4th in points, and he's running that in second. Tinch has got some damage, and with it coming down to the wire here, it might help Levine get into that top 3.
Anything that can be used in certainty here is that you can expect the uncertain. as Mike pointed out, there are a ton of damaged trucks here that are going to have to be forced to work together with each other, whether they're teammates or not. If you've got damage that happens, say your nose lines up with the ass end of the truck in front of you, and he's not your teammate, but you guys have the speed because for some weird reason a Toyota nose fits into a Chevy's ass, then that's who you've got to run behind. So we're going to see a lot of different things here tonight, as we've definitely seen. You see there, you mentioned the 6060s back there with just another truck. They've completely lost the draft. As we take a look there at the 16 of Chris Brown. These guys here, they're kind of just jockeying around a little bit. They're within striking distance of the front four here, as we see the 8 has managed to make his way around the 3, as well as we've got the 99 now up there, but we still have more trucks up ahead of them. This is not the lead pack. These guys need to get up, catch these guys, and then they'll all get together and come up to the lead pack. As it's very, very spread out. This is going to be probably a little bit tougher of a race to call, because there's going to be so many different things to look at other than just who's leading the races. Right now, it's still the 2 of Rick Seabrands and the 4 of Justin Levine trying to get around him. As we see the 96 lap traffic, they're all going to drop to the low side, as now we focus up here to the lead pack. You can see that at the line, that'll be Rick's 9th lap of the night here. Justin Levine with 3 laps, Matthew Welsenbach with 6, Gregory Thompson with 3, Paul Servant with 15. So obviously that's going to be your majority leader, and then the other person to lead would be the 54 of Chris Akers. Other than obviously Brett Bodine leading a lot of laps here, but he hasn't quite caught the 3 truck. There's only been 13 laps of caution, I believe, versus the 15 that Paul Servant has led. So right now, Brett Bodine still, hopefully, we get to see him park on pit road for the remainder of the race. So you get a look here at the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr., the 26 of Daniel Holloway, and the 62 of Zachary Hale. As they're going to try and form up here on the back stretch. We also see the 20 there of Michael Coe. Looks like if these guys can clear, like right now we've got the 8 and the 3. We both know that those are Southern Thunder teammates. If the 8, the 3, the 20, if they can clear and drop down in front of the 99 here, I think if they stay single file, they can get the speed up and try and make a run to catch up. But the longer that these guys are staying double file racing, the more it's going to hurt them, as the front pack is single. So right now, this is 7th on back. Dana Osborne there in the 8 truck being scored in 7th position. So we see teammates able to clear. That's going to strand the 20 of Michael Coe on the outside. So now he's going to have to make a decision. Either A, try and use some side draft, or B, just cycle to the back and get this train going single file. That way they can hopefully catch up to the lead pack. As we see that 3 glued to the back bumper of the 8 truck, his teammate. So looks like the 20 is going to drop in behind the 62. Meanwhile, nothing has changed out front. It is still the 2 of Rick Seabrands, which Rick is now starting to close in on most laps led. He's up to 13 now. He's got to make 3 more to beat that 3 truck. As we can see, that group of trucks that was way off in the distance up front. Now that's the front 4. Actually, the front 5. And word to the tower is the 21 team has gone ahead and taken that truck behind the wall, loaded up on the hauler. They're done. And they will return next week for the season finale. So we can see now that these guys are working single file. Let's see what the speeds are. We'll pull a drop down on them. 193, 194 is the fastest I saw as they got into the corner there. Let's see what they can get to as they go into turn 3 here. Now, this speed isn't going to be exactly 100% accurate, seeing how we are going off with the lead truck, and he's the one that has to cut the air, but 195 miles an hour versus up here up front, we see 191 out of the 2 truck as they go around one of the several damaged trucks here. You see 196 there out of the 4 truck of Justin Levine, 197 from the 24 Jason Rosebush. These guys here, looks like they're not getting the same amount of speed as the front pack is, so a 0.2 second loss that lap for the back pack here. So it looks like they might have their work cut out for them the rest of the race, well, the rest of the stage until we restart on stage 3. And then, given the way that this race has gone so far, I don't even know what to expect for the last stage of this race.
Well, Art, I definitely don't want to give my opinion.
Yeah, we know what happens when that comes out. We see the 96 there of Roddy Klein low and slow on the apron. We see the 18 of Gary Champion now getting overtaken by this second pack here of 7th on back. And all these guys do still have to take that mandatory pit stop, as they have stayed green flags since the start of stage 2. So everybody's gonna have to come down. And where it is, the whole front pack, we can see them down on pit road. So that's gonna shake things over a little bit here, as now the lead is gonna be brought over to the 8 of Dana Osborne. That'll be his first lap led of the night here. And looking at the 2, the 8 is 100% straight. The 3 has a little bit of damage to him, but it's not enough that it's going to affect him. As we've seen, he's been able to stay glued behind the rear bumper of that 8 truck. Now, if I was smart, I would try to get maybe a little bit of space, try and lap him, and then come in to get right now you got to get as much time as possible on the guys that just pitted to try and keep them pinned to the end of the stage. That way, when you come down and pit, you're not going to get mired way back in the field. As right now, 8th on back now is going to be what the lead is now going to cycle out to.
And something else to note, Art, is that lead pack didn't get out on off pit road all simultaneously like they would like to either. They kind of left each other kind of scattered in 3s and 2. A group of 3, a group of 2, and a group of 3. So it'll take them a couple laps to actually get back.
And here comes the backpack. No, actually, only Southern Thunder's coming down. That'll leave the 99 of Thomas LeBar there as your race leader now. The 1 of Artie Pearson Jr., the 62 of Zachary Hale, the 26 of Daniel Holloway, and the 20 of Michael Coe. So now we're starting to see a little bit different strategies. The 62 is going to recycle to the back of this pack, which is now the lead pack. So we see the rest of these guys making their way around the lap truck of the 96 of Roddy Klein. So word is we will see the leaders coming down to pit road this time around. You see the 8 there, Dan Osborne making his way off pit road. You see the 2 there.
That lead group's finally starting to come back together.
You see right there the 29 and the 88 working together perfectly, as teammates will do on the outside line there, along with the 4 of Justin Levine and the 54 of Chris Eggers. We see the 88 drop down as well as the 29, so they will both clear, which will give, as we see right there, those are going to be what were the race leaders. Hand it now over to the... Actually, no, we still have a couple trucks that they have to pass. They have to get around the 13 of David Warren and the 16 of Chris Brown. As we see the 66 of Bobby Tinch there, he's going to drop down to the apron for these guys. As we see the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr., he's going to make his way to the inside. He's forced the 88 to the outside, so it's going to be the 88, the 4, the 54 on the outside, the 29, the 81, the 2, and the 24 on the inside. So right now we've got our final 2, Chris Brown and David Warren, on pit road, so that will hand the lead over to the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach, as he's got his teammate, the 88 of Gregory Thompson, to his outside there. First truck on the outside line being pushed by the 4 and the 54. Now you can see the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. We know that Mark knows how to push. He likes being up front. He may not be in it for the championship 3, but hell, winning a race is winning a race. And I know he is quite fond of doing so. So he's gonna try and do what he can do, but so we see another truck spooling up off of pit road here. So we should have 10 more laps until we see the end of the segment here. Meanwhile, as we look back further, this is for 9th place, the 99 of Thomas Labar. See, he looked to the outside there, but the 62 filled the hole, so they're on lap traffic of the 95 there. That is Christopher Berry. He dropped to the apron, so that'll let them clear that. Now we see the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. is going to drop to the inside of the 62. Now we see the 99 coming back up. He's going to use that to stall out the 62. Right now, the 99 being scored in the top 10 in 10th place. He is one of the Super 7. As out front right there, we've got a 3-wide battle up here for the lead. Now, the 29, the 88, the 2, the 4, these guys are all in the Super 7 here. And they're going to go 3 wide here as they come to the line. Who is going to prevail? It will be once again the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach leading that lap, but it's not over yet because they are going to be still 3 wide as they enter turn 1 and 2 here. And probably as they come off of it down the back stretch into 3 and 4. See who can put in the most work right here. Is it going to be the inside line, the middle groove, or the high side? As you can hear that sound, they're coming up on lap traffic very, very quickly. That'll be the 96 of Roddy Klein. He's going to drop to the apron. That was enough to let the outside stall out just a little bit, but they didn't lose much, so it's going to be a 3-way drag race. But at the line once again for his 10th lap of the night, it'll be the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach leading that one. This is actually starting to get exciting now.
I think they lifted a little there. Art, the 24 got a little bit out of whack, I guess, in the middle there. And I don't know if they checked up for him or for lap traffic there.
I think it might have been a little bit of a combination of both, because I've noticed that when you're 3 wide, or at least with the Xfinity cars, when you're in that middle groove, There's a lot of nasty air. Oh, we got it right. 24 and 88. Is it going to bring on a caution? So far, it does not appear that we're going to see a caution from that, so...
Same thing, Art. He got out a little out of whack. You can tell that the air is pushing him around a whole lot with his rear of his car and the front of his truck just darting, and then...
Oh, I hate to bring up the dreaded N-word, but I do believe Netcode was involved in that one there, which is an unfortunate event because that was the 88 of Gregory Thompson, who was in the Super 7. And as we pull up the points yet again, we'll show you just exactly what a simple thing like that, like if the caution had come out, how it would have saved him versus now no caution. The 88 being the last driver in contention for it, that's going to hurt him even more now, as that might, I mean, we still have one segment left to go. He might be able to gather it up and give it another run, but right now, being the last driver in the Super 7, that could have been the final nail in the coffin there. So right now we're looking at 6th place. That is the 20 of Michael Coe behind him, the 26 of Daniel Holloway, the 99 of Thomas LeBar, 1 of Artie Peterson Jr., and now it's going to focus back out to the front pack as they catch up to more lap traffic. The 16 of Chris Brown is going to get another lap stacked on him, as that time around the 4 is going to lead that lap. That'll be his 4th lap of the night. So we've got a new lap leader in the books, and that'll be the 2 of Rick Seabrands. He's got 16. Closest to that would be the 3 of Paul Servant with 15 laps, and then next will be the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach with 12. As we look back once again to 6th place, we see that the 20 is going to get stranded here. In case you guys are just now tuning in, I'm going to pull up a brief summary here right now. We've got 57 laps in the books. We had 14 lead changes and 4 cautions for 15 laps. None of those have been the stage end. Those have been all wrecks. So we've had 15 caution laps here tonight. Right now our top 5 is the 4 of Justin Levine, the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach, the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr., the 2 of Rick Seabrands, and the 24 of Jason Rodebush. So we see the 18 of Gary Champion there. The heavy damage on that Chevy Silverado. They're going to take him easily as he goes to the high side. But this will be the white flag that they are coming to for stage 2.
The 81 with a power move down to the bottom, all the way to the apron to try to get this stage win.
As we're going to watch this battle unfold, it is white flag, half a lap away from deciding who is going to win the stage here. Now, I mentioned earlier that the 81 was not afraid to make some aggressive moves to get there, and that's exactly what he's done. He's pushed the 29 out of the way, and we see the 4 is working with the 81. So as they come out of turn 4 into the super stretch here, it's easily going to be the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. with the stage win, as we will see the caution flag come out. That will end stage 2. So we've seen 2 different winners for 2 different stages, and now we will get these guys geared up and ready to go for the final, most important stage, the one that decides who advances from the Super 7 into the Championship 3. So as we see the stage is under wraps. We're going to go ahead and cut to a commercial break, and we will return with hopefully the restart of the race and the last stage before we head into the last race of the season next week. And we are back, and looking at it, the race off of pit road will go to the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. Now, folks, if you wonder why we've been silent for so long, we've had a very, very intense conversation going on between the three of us as to how this last stage is going to come about here, what we're going to see happen here. As we can see, the highest scoring position driver right now in the Super 7 being that 4 truck in second spot right now, followed by the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach, who will restart from the 4th position. Then the 2 truck of Rick Seabrands restarting in 6th, the 99 of Thomas Labar in 7th, and then the 3 of Paul Servant. I don't know why I always freaking say that name differently. I guess because when I hear Dwayne say it, Dwayne always changes it, and it might be that way, but I'm used to saying it Servant. But the 3 of Paul Servant in 9th, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of your 7 drivers inside the top 10. So right now, it's literally going to be a crapshoot. Who's going to be willing to work with who, as we're going to be restarting with less than 30 laps to go here. It's going to be very interesting to see who's going to be willing to stick it out and work with who. As right now, the closest Southern Thunder truck to the 81 is going to be the 3 back in 9th position. And then his other teammate, Dana Osborne, in the 8 will be restarting from 11th. So it's definitely going to be an interesting restart, and it's going to be an interesting final segment as the lights are out on the pace car. We are 1 to green. We're going to double the field back up here. Quick run through. Restarting with the lead will be the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr., Justin Levine second on the outside there. The 26 of Daniel Holloway will restart third. The 29 Matthew Welsenbach fourth. 24 Jason Rodebush fifth. Rick Seabrans in the 2-6. The 99 of Thomas LeBar seventh. The 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. eighth. 3 of Paul Servant ninth. And the 13 of David Warren will round out the top 10 as we get ready to restart this race and start the third and final stage. As we get ready for this restart, as always, we're going to drop down to the crank it up camera here, and hopefully with these guys being doubled up, we're not going to see what we've seen all night, and we're going to see some clean racing.
Not going.
Oh, we got delayed green here. You see the 81 of Mark Jorgensen. He's down on the apron. It looks like he might have lost his wheels or something. Looks like that truck is turning right to go left. No, his wheels are straight. I don't know what happened there with the 81, but we will be under a delayed green here. So we see all right, word is the 81 dropped down before the restart, so he will receive an EOL penalty, which is gonna hurt him because he would have been restarting the lead. That will give it now to the technically the outside truck of Justin Levine. He will now be the race leader, and Daniel Holloway will swap spots. So tough break there for the 81 as he's gonna have to drop to the end of the longest line. So we should get the green. All right, so this time now we will get the restart of the race as the 26 of Daniel Holloway, even though technically he inherited that one through the 81. Hell, pace car's off.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. Stage 3 underway. Let's get this one in the books. Alright, so as we zoom back to regular Fox cameras, even though the 81 got an EOL, I don't think I need a degree in. Oh, we got a wreck. We got a wreck out of turn 2. No caution. They went down to the inside. So that is going to have some implications for the 66 of Bobby Tinch. He is one of the Super 7 drivers. And unfortunately, everybody went down to the inside on that wreck, so the green flag will stay out. So we will stay racing here. Very unfortunate for all those trucks involved, but whenever the wreck happens and everybody turns down the track and stays off the racing surface, the caution flag will not come out, and they do not throw admin cautions unless there was a clear reason, like a track being spun up the track, and for some reason iRacing did not deem that a caution in front of the field. As right now the battle is heating up between the 4 of Justin Levine and the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach. Welzenbach's got the 2 of Rick Seabrands behind him. Levine has the 26 of Holloway, the 24 of Roadbush, the 3 of Servant, the 99 of LaBar, and now we see, I believe that's the 20 of Michael Coe. He's going to try and join the top side. No, that's the 99 as well as the 20. So there we go. We're going to see Thomas LaBar move up to the outside line. It'll be 4 on 4 now. Now you got to wonder what's running through some of those drivers' minds right now that were involved in that little altercation coming off of turn 2 and not having the carbon flag come out.
Or you know what they're thinking. They're having a meltdown like I did earlier tonight.
It might be worse. I've raced with these guys. I've heard some of the.
I think he's kind of upset about it. He was second in the points, if I recall.
Yes, he was.
That's really going to hurt him.
I've raced with some of these guys, and I've heard some of the race comms during the Monday night races. Some of it might be maybe a little bit worse than your meltdown. Your meltdown was more comical because it didn't make any sense, but we'll see.
Well, I'm just gonna put it out there. If it's raining pussy, Bobby Tinch is definitely getting hit by a dick tonight.
Oh, and Mike went there.
He has no luck. I mean, he's been in every wreck tonight, and he's never did anything wrong. He's just getting killed.
So in other words, it's your famous line from Pew. If it was raining pussy, you're getting hit with a bag of dicks.
Absolutely.
Well, meanwhile, out front, who's going to be at the line? Barely by the nose, it'll be the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach. That'll be his 15th lap led. Now he is closing in on, well, he's tied now with the 3 of Paul Servant, but they still have one more lap to tie with the 2 of Rick Seabrands. Right now, Rick is still holding the most laps led at 16. And some of you may be offended by some of the things we say, but that's what makes this league fun. We don't have a leash on us. We can cut loose, have fun. Well, this week we don't, but when we get it on the portal, that'll obviously be a different story. But this is the league where we get to cut loose, have fun. Everybody gets to enjoy themselves. The drivers love listening to the commentary, and how far, when you're driving in a league, or if you're putting on and calling a league, this is fun. And if you know all the personalities of the drivers in this league, how they all interact with each other, and just the amount of sarcasm and the fun, and just how everybody can take a joke and pass it off and be able to take it as much as they can receive it. And I mean, it's just second nature to them. And honestly, it's one of the things that I love the most about doing this job here, is being able to have the freedom to not just sit there and be like, I'm trying to think of his freaking name now, Bob Jenkins back in the day for ESPN, or hell, if you played the old school video games, any of the old NASCAR EA Sports games, or Mario Andretti Racing. There we see the 66 of Bobby Tinch. He's about to get lapped here as the lead pack makes his way up. As we see the 29, he's able to clear the 4 of Justin Levine. These guys do need to make one last pit stop. We see Bobby is going to drop down to the apron here. He's going to let the lead pack go by. That's got to be very disheartening to see, knowing that you were sitting in second place, and to see that 2 truck drive by, as well as the 4 truck that should move Justin Levine ahead of Bobby, as long as Justin doesn't get wrecked out of tonight's race. You see the 20 there of Michael Coe. He came down for a green flag pit stop. He did that solo. So now he is going to be the next victim to fall in line as a lap truck, as the leaders are coming to him here in turn 1. And the latest in the list of retirees, we've seen the 54 is disconnected. The 21 is, I think they're halfway home already. And the latest retiree will be the 72 of Daniel Jackson, as they have taken that truck behind the wall, loaded on the hauler. They are done for the night. So right now the 20 is going to desperately try to hold on to the draft as much as he can, because he knows that this group of guys has to come down for one final stop, as they're going to come up again on the 18 of Gary Champion, who has been... He's already had to use a quick fix early on during the race, got caught in another one, and right now he's down on power. Something fierce, as you can see him just flying by.
And you know what? He's another guy that always gets hit with the bag. It seems like every week there's something that goes on around Mr. Champion there.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that one. I mean,
he's normally a fairly clean racer. I used to race with him a lot in the official series. And even in there, he's just always collecting somebody else's mess that they started.
Well, to say it the most famous way, when I've raced with, let's see, it was Gary, it was Jason Kinzer, it was Rittenhauer, pretty much about half of Cyber together.
You said Rittenhauer, where's he at? He's normally out here.
He is shooting darts in a tournament tonight, so he's not on track, but he should be back for Monday night's Speedway League, where I'll be taking to the track with the Drive for Autism team, as we're going to try and get one of our guys up there to the top. Hopefully we'll get Mike and Caleb in too. That way we can have a 3-car team. As we see the 96 there, Roddy Klein, he's going to go down another lap as the field goes by single file. Matthew Welsenbach now with 21 laps left in the book. He is going to be our lap leader for the night. I don't think with the remaining laps left, with him staying out like this, that anybody else is going to be able to touch that. Seeing how Justin Levine would have to make up, if he were to get the lead right now, he has 11 laps that he has to make up on the 29 to take the most laps led. Not that there's anything in it for leading the most laps, because we all know that the most important lap to lead is the last one. But right now these two guys are racing for the championship 3, both the 29 and the 4. The 4 being closer. We're still going to see, I think it's going to come down to, depending on where they shake out after the final set of pit stops, it's going to come down to probably a last lap move. And since you brought up Bobby and his shitty luck that seems to always happen, same thing with Gary. Bobby, it's going to hurt more because he was sitting in second. Now we still have the 3 of Paul's Servant, which he's in 4th position right now. Levine right now behind Servant. Welsenbach's got the most, and we have the whole front pack now coming down pit road. So that's what the 20 wanted to see, as he's going to be able to go by. So as we see these guys come down here, we're going to see who is going to be able to get on and off pit road. What's going to be the winning strategy here tonight at Daytona? See everybody in their boxes. They're already down and away. Looks like a lot of fuel only stops.
It's like 29 wins it off pit road.
Yep, and the 4 will follow him out. So you see the 4 giving the 29 a little bump there. They're going to get past around there, but right now the lead is going to be inherited to the 16 of Chris Brown, and looky who's up in second, the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. behind him, the 3 of Dana Osborne. So these guys now completing their final pit stop of the race, and it pretty much looks like they came out the exact same order, at least for the front 4 here, that they came in. So we see there the 66 of Bobby Tinch making his way off of pit road. So right now, the way we're looking at it, the 29 is sitting in 6th position. They've got to get around the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr., the 62 of Zachary Hale, the 8 of Dana Osborne, the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr., and the 16 of Chris Brown. None of which have pitted yet, so should be an easy thing to do once they do it. And we will see these guys reattain the lead as we are down to 18 to go at the line, or actually no, 8 to go at the line. Keep forgetting we have those extra 10 laps allocated for green, white checker finishes, which we did have to see last week. As we see a lot of action happening here up at the front. See the 4, the 2, the 3. Justin is not content riding behind the 29s. We see the 2 sideways, net code. They're all able to keep it together. Great save by the 2 there, Rich Seabrand. But that is definitely going to change things up, as he is the points leader right now as far as the championship 3 go. Now we see that everybody else is going to have to fall in line. The 26, the 99, they're going to hook up. The 4, the 29, and the 3, not the 3, the, good Lord. That was just an amazing save there. Absolutely amazing save. So we got the 29, the 4, and the 3, and now they have gotten up to the 95 of Christopher Berry. This will be the backpacker group here, as they are going to go around, as well as the 88 of Gregory Thompson, the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr., and the 80 of PJ O'Leary. Right now, the 3 being scored in 8th position. Remember, these guys do have to just chase down the guys right now who have not pitted yet, being the 16, the 81, the 8, the 62. So from 5th on back, we are good to go the rest of the race. But once again,
right now, do you think they're waiting on a caution, see if they get a late caution?
No, these guys with 6 laps to go, they're pretty much going to start slugging it out here. We've got a lot of things we really have to look at here. These few closing laps. We got the 29, we got the 4, we got the 3, and we've got the 99. All of them in the Super 7 right now. And now look at all of them. We've got the 29, we've got the 4, we've got the 3, the 99, and the 26. The 99 and the 26 were hauling ass. They brought themselves up to this pack here, so now it's going to be 3 on 3. And all 3 front-running trucks are going to be Super 7 drivers. The last remaining one will be the 99. And it looks like coming, when they got together there, the run that the 26 and the 99 had, we saw the 99 had to let out. The 4 came up to stall that run out, so we might see the 4 get shuffled out of place, or we might see, right now, the 99 try and come up, work with the 4, and then maybe just ditch him on the outside. But as right now, looks like they almost wanted to go 3 wide there. The 99 definitely showing his displeasure with the stall out there in the run. As the 26 is going to drop back, as right now the top 4 right now are all in the Super 7. So this is going to be a battle between these 4 trucks here. And you got to wonder, Cody, how often or how much do you think that 99 thought about using the chrome horn?
I think he all but used it. I think it was a last-minute decision not to use it there, and that's just because he does have that little asterisk by his name, so he's in that top 7, and now he's pushing the 4, so no harm, no foul, and he's gonna do whatever he can do with whoever he can get it with, and try to put his truck up as high as he can, get those points.
I was about to say, he was all but using that chrome horn all the way down the backstretch. As you can see now, he has pushed the 4 in front of the 29, so that will inherit the lead back over to the 4 of Justin Levine. As we only have a few laps remaining here at Daytona International Speedway, who is it going to be? Are we going to see the 3 jump out possibly behind the 99? Or are we going to see Justin bring this one home?
I don't think Tom's too happy about 4 leaving him there. I know I wouldn't be. I'd probably shut him to the lead, even though, you know, they are racing for points here. And I think Mike pointed out a while ago from the tower, the run that he had pushed, I think it was a 26 up to him. He's got a strong truck. He knows how to push. And well, I'd like to see him get a good run right here.
Now this is the last lap here, so if there's going to be a move made, it better be done pretty damn soon. This is going to come down. Look at that run though, that the 3 is getting on the 29 as well as the 99. They're going to shoot to the outside. The 29 is going to go up the block. They're going to go even higher. We're going to be 3 wide going on the backstretch. This is all going to be for the lead, and there's going to be a lap car in the way as there are 3 wide coming out of turns 3 and 4. They get 4 wide here at Daytona. Right now, the 4 of Justin Levine holding on to the lead, but look at the run. The 29 is getting on the outside. He's being pushed by the 99. At the line, it's going to be the 4 of Justin Levine winning it here tonight at Daytona.
Caution. Might be oil on the outside.
A fine piece of driving. Now, just imagine what would have happened if that lap car was not in the way and they were able to take that 3 wide. That could have been either Welsenbach's race, that could have been Servant's race, or it could have been Levine's race. But we did see that one lap truck up there. I believe it was the one of Artie Peterson Jr. at, I think it's a, well actually no, I know it's a legal rule though, with 10 laps to go. If you're in the way and you're a lap down, you're to get down on the apron and not up on the high side. And unfortunately, the lead pack caught him in the worst possible place. They caught him in turn 3, but they managed to make it 4 wide at Daytona without killing everybody. Nonetheless, impressive piece of driving there as Justin Levine is going to bring home the win. Thomas Labar is going to come home 2nd, and Matthew Welsenbach 3rd. As we see a little bit of bumping and celebrating going on there. Alright, so as we let things simmer down here a little bit. All right, now that we've let things calm down a little bit here, and hopefully everybody's done talking, we're going to bring in tonight's third place finisher, the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach.
Bar got back behind you, and that's I was almost clear.
All right, obviously still things going on right there, so we're going to let things simmer down just a little bit more before we drag anybody in. As we work to get the audio stuff here. All right, we're gonna bring in our third place finisher, the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach. All right, Matt, you brought it home third. That was one hell of a final lap. Came down to a lap car. You guys brought it 4 wide to turns 3 and 4. Managed not to kill anybody. Walk us through those last few laps.
Yeah, I was just going for broke there. You know, I needed to win, I think, to advance to the championship 3. So those last couple laps, you know, were just everyone was given space, but we were all bumping and banging each other and having some fun up there. I jumped out right in front of Paul because I saw the high line come in, and he unfortunately then went high on me there. And otherwise, I think I would have had the momentum to get in front of Levine to take home the W. But hell of a race. Got caught up in an accident. As I don't know if you guys know, but my wheels were through my hood.
Oh yeah, we definitely knew when the wheels are at full lock, and we went inside the car and saw the wheel going left to right. That's
And
definitely.
I wasn't turning.
Oh yeah, you weren't going anywhere. When we saw you plowing a new lane through the grass there, we definitely knew the wheels were up on the hood.
Yeah, I mean that's been something that's been happening to me a lot more in the trucks and the K&N cars. I don't know what's up with iRacing. I need to get on fixing that, but. I got my tow, used my quick repair, got back out there, got my lap back, and then, 11th in stage 1, 3rd in stage 2, and 3rd, at the end. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to advance me, but hell of a run. Had a really bad race last week, so definitely nice to come back here and kind of run up front with the big boys and stuff. Get this 29 truck up here for some TV time.
Now, the one thing that we saw this week that we have not really seen all season is how aggressive everybody was racing in the first stage. I think Brett Bodine actually led more laps than any of the drivers did the first stage. Was it just a full moon tonight or something at Daytona? I know we had the super moon, the blood moon, the blue moon, all that stuff. Hell, somebody might have been mooning us all. It was a chaotic first stage tonight.
Yeah, with all those cautions, not sure. Everyone was just kind of, making some moves. I know Labar came up on me to bring out that one caution, which, again, put my wheels through my hood. And, he took blame for that. He just moved up when he wasn't clear. I'm sure there are some fans that were definitely mooning us and telling us we were number one that first stage. But the second stage, we had a great running. We had some great green flag pit stops going there. And then we, I think, ran the whole last part, caution free. So again, had some good pit stops. Again, I couldn't be happier. Happy not to advance, happy to finish third. It's a good night.
I think the biggest person that did not enjoy tonight would be the 66 of Bobby Tinch. He got involved. And unfortunately, when he went around, everybody spun to the inside, which, of course, that doesn't bring out the yellow flag, and it stayed green, and that undoubtedly sealed his fate for the night. But you bring it home third tonight, and as we know, whether or not you've locked yourself in or not, it's still a great night for points. Anytime you get a podium finish and you get TV time is amazing. Given that said, before we head on to next week, is there anybody you'd like to thank?
I want to thank you guys. As always, Sundays I work from home, so I can't wait to go back and watch this race, especially I know I was up front, got some TV time, accident or not. Definitely want to thank Dwayne. He wasn't here tonight. He got called away to an emergency for work, so he did not have his presence. But, again, you guys, Dwayne, my teammates, Jim wasn't here tonight, but Chris Akers, Greg Thompson, Radical Racing, this is a good showing for us. Definitely, I think we're leading the team standing, so let's go Radical. We got one more race to hopefully bring that home. Hope for Paws, rescue organization in Southern California. Adopt, don't shop. I need to put that on my truck. But yeah, thank my mom, my fiance, everybody.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on that third place, and we will see you next week at the season finale.
Woohoo!
That was our third place finisher, the 29. Now we will bring in the second place finisher, the 99. All right, Tom, you brought it home second tonight. That was definitely a chaotic last couple of laps. We saw you and the 26 had a hell of a run going there. Got stalled out by the 4 truck, and then during that last lap, we saw a lap truck come into play there, and y'all made it 4 wide coming through 3 and 4, ultimately leading to the 4 winning. You brought it home second. How's it feel?
Yeah, green flag.
Trying to hook up and get going.
It looked like, I think the 4 came up to try and stall that run out, and he effectively did that. He all but almost wrecked everybody doing so. I think the 26 did get a little bit of damage from that, but it did make for a great lap. Now, we saw probably the most unusual first stage we've ever seen in Cyber history. I think that's the most cautions, and the first time that Brett Bodine has led the most laps in a single stage here. But you brought her home second. How did the last few laps feel to you?
I felt pretty good. Seemed kind of a little bit like an ARCA race today. Here for a little while, but yeah, I don't know. Seemed like everybody, once we got everything figured out, we did pretty well.
Well, a second place, that definitely assures that you did a good job, and knowing that next week we move on to the last race of the season, it's definitely going to make it interesting as the 4 truck overcame a few obstacles, and now we're going to have to see when Dwayne sorts it out who makes it into the championship 3. Anything is going to be possible, as we know. Play track racing, the only thing that's certain is the uncertainty. You brought it home second. Is there anybody that you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting. I enjoy going back and watching what you guys do. It's good stuff. I appreciate it.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on your second place, and we will see you next week at the season finale.
Yeah, I hope I made it in.
All right, that was our second place finisher. Now we are going to bring in our race winner, the 4 of Justin Levine. All right, Justin, you brought her home with a W. You made the most important move on the last lap. You blocked and stalled out the high line, and you brought her home in victory lane. How's it feel?
Oh, it feels amazing, especially being locked into the final 3. I knew I had to get a lot of bonus points with the stages, but I didn't expect to win.
We definitely saw a thing that's uncharacteristic of Cyber, and the fact that we had 4 cautions in the first stage. I think Brett Bodine's going to get a trophy tonight for leading the most laps for the first segment, and for I think he's probably passed out drunk now, because the way that we do it is we give him a cooler full of beer every race, and anytime that he's out there running pace laps, he's got to pound them. And as much as he was out there during that first segment, I think he's pretty shit-faced right now. But luckily the race is over, and it looks like he's got that car parked over there. Hell of a run. Tell me how it felt with the lap car there on the last lap and you guys going 4 wide.
Oh man, I really didn't think we were gonna make it. That's why I was ready to pull onto the apron in case like I saw Matt come down or something. But I was like, it's either do or die. I have to go for it. I can't back out.
Well,
thank God everything worked.
We knew everything was going to come down to the closing segment, and after seeing the first stage and then seeing the second stage, how the racing kind of calmed down a little bit. I think that had a lot to do with most everybody had used their quick repairs already and had to sit on pit road to take some damage, and we saw a lot of damaged trucks having to work with each other. The field got spread out, and then finally on the last bit we saw I believe it was the 66. He got turned. Unfortunately, everybody went to the inside, so no caution came out, and that opened the door for you guys to stay clean and green all the way to the finish. It's great that we didn't have to use a green-white checker, and ultimately, you made the most important move. You brought her home in victory lane, locked yourself into the Championship 3, where next week we go on to see if you can repeat it and become the champion.
Oh yeah, I'm hyped. I can't wait for next week already.
Now, I know celebrations are going to be underway as soon as you guys finish these last couple laps to make it official, but Is there anybody that you'd like to thank before we move on to the championship race next
I'd
week?
like to thank Dwayne, Jim. They put this on for us every day. Well, every day, listen to me. Every week. And my teammate Excalibur, Dan, Gary, Zach, what an amazing team I have. And Tom for pushing us to the win there. And you guys do such a fantastic job. I love watching, going back and seeing the broadcast.
Oh, it's definitely our pleasure. We love sitting up here in the booth watching y'all race it out. And once again, congratulations on the win. And hopefully you can follow it up again next week and seal the championship.
Thank you.
All right. Guys, any last words before we put the second to last race of the season in the books?
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, I don't even know what to say. That was so uncharacteristic of Cyber in that first segment. But then, you know, the last two segments were great racing. Everyone sorted out their junk and got organized and put on a great show at the end. I mean, that 4 wide, that's nuts. I mean, I would have crapped my pants and been dead in the wall somewhere. But yeah, it was a great race to watch.
I couldn't agree anymore. I don't know what exactly went on in the first segment that brought out the reason why we saw such aggressive racing. I mean, everybody knew they had to go 90 laps at the beginning of the race, and we were seeing moves that you would make in the final couple laps, in the first few laps, but nonetheless, we saw a 4 wide finish, and we know now that the 4 locked in. We're going to have to see and get confirmation from Dwayne who the third and final driver is, because the final 3 are going to decide which track and which chassis that they are going to run the final race in. Now, with that being said, for everybody here at Cyber Racing, Homes Now Not Later, and Die Hard Live TV, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and don't forget to tune in next Saturday as we will be broadcasting the final race of the season. Who is going to hang it all out on the line for that championship? But until then, thank you for watching, and we will see you guys next time.